just noticed actually a couple of minutes ago that one of my favorite stars, Arnold Schwarzenegger, had his birthday on the 30th of July. Got inspiration to do a quick, um, not a normal review video, which I normally do about movies, but just a 30-40 minute talk about what it means or do his movies mean to me as a person that likes action movies, and more broadly, what does movies um, that have the same kind of tone as his movies like Sylvester Stallone and those guys. So because this video of mine here has another alternative motive, which is that my late brother liked his movies a lot. I remember when I was about 8, 9, something like that. I used to sneak into my brother's room to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movies like Commando and Terminator 2 and The Last Action Hero, which, by the way, holds a very special place in my mind, in my heart. Although it's not a good movie in itself, but I don't know, I just love it to death actually. Um, so yeah, um, I guess I first saw Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2, and it was the like 1992, 1993 when it happened, because my brother had a VHS tape of the movie in his room at my parents' place. And as I said in the beginning, I used to sneak into his room and kind of watch these action movies with him, because my mother wouldn't approve. She thought it was against the rules. Sorry, Mom, but that's what you thought. That it was against the rules for me to watch these kind of horrible action movies, which had a lot of violence and gore. But fortunately, my brother didn't mind, and his friends didn't mind, so I got my first taste of Arnold Schwarzenegger that way, and I have to say, I was scared to death of this Terminator movie, but it helped that I had my brother there, and I trusted him completely, so I felt totally secure and all that stuff. So yeah, but the effect that Terminator 2 had in my life generally was a very big one, because it showed me that you could have a good action movie with a good plot and a good story, and a lot of action, and because Terminator 2 wasn't all about action, it was all about the characters, and that was what made it special for me in my later years. Of course, when I was younger, all that mattered was the cool action of it. But then I saw Terminator 1, which to this day to me is one of the most scariest action movies of all time. I still get um, like this cold feeling down my spine every time I watch the movie. I don't know why, but I still do. And it's down to Arnold Schwarzenegger's perfect acting. He's a totally cold killing machine in the movie, and somehow that still gets to me to this day. Um, and the way they did action movies in the 80s and early 90s was totally different than today, because um, you didn't have the capability of doing very much like computer generated images in effects. So you had to rely on practical effects and puppetry and stop motion animation and uh, like kind of robotics. And a person that I have followed deeply until his death came out of these movies, who was Stan Winston. He's a master of um, late 80s, early 90s action movies, like uh, practical effects in robotics and in dinosaurs and all that. He did the um, effects in Jurassic Park, Terminator movies, and a whole host of other movies. So he came to my knowledge through Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, back to Terminator 1, that was a totally, as I said before, that was a totally scary movie for me. But it has stayed as one of my favorite movies of all time until this day. Because as I said, they didn't have money to spend or waste on um, cool looking computer generated effects, because they were like very expensive in those days. Um, and they had I forgot the budget for Terminator 1, but it was very low. Um, so they had to rely on practical stuff and practical acting, and I think that Arnold Schwarzenegger was perfect for the role of the Terminator, because he's really buffed. He's very muscular, and he has this expression on his face that is very menacing and very scary. So yeah, and then I saw him in Commando, which of course is another 80s action movie that has really stuck with me to this day, because again that has the nostalgia effect of the 80s, early 90s for me, because that's another movie that didn't have a very large budget, didn't have so many like computer generated effects. It only had action, 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 and very well done action. Um, so yeah, and Commando was my one of my first movies that I saw that had some kind of militaristic like connotations. And for a young boy, like 10, 11-year old boy, that was the coolest movie of all time, because this guy was um, special forces, and this guy was good with weapons or perfect with weapons, and I didn't see the the bad sides of the movie at all at that time. When I bought it about 1 year ago to my iTunes, I watched it and I laughed. Uh, I laughed most of the movie, because in a way it's such a stupid movie, but the fact that it's such a stupid movie makes it work, because you don't have to care about reality, because many things that are depicted in the movie don't happen like that in reality at all. But it doesn't matter, because it's a perfect action movie. And again, Arnold Schwarzenegger makes it a perfect action movie, because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's very good at and making so-called stupid but fantastic action movies because he's very believable in those kind of parts. And yeah, as I said, this is gonna be a video mostly on Arnold Schwarzenegger, but almost also on like Sylvester Stallone. And I think Sylvester Stallone, for me, is the same kind of action hero than Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he made the Rambo movies, for example, Rambo First Blood, parts 1, 2, and 3, which for me are um, another example of a near perfect, um, or mostly First Blood number 2 is, for me at least, not to anybody else. And I don't know, but for me, it's an example of a perfect, but at the same time very stupid, um, but very fantastic and very perfect action movie that works. And I'm so astonished and so disappointed that they don't make movies like that anymore. They don't. They absolutely don't. Everything has computer generated bullshit these days. And don't get me wrong, I like computer generated images in movies, but they have to serve a purpose. And I really think that in today's movies they are used because they have to be used because everybody else is using them. So you use CGI, which is the completely wrong way of making movies, and everything has to be so cool looking these days. And let's consider for a moment the image of Rambo or the image of the Terminator in Arnold Schwarzenegger's case. You didn't need anything else. You absolutely didn't. Rambo is perfect as Rambo. Sylvester Stallone is perfect as Rambo. But and Arnold Schwarzenegger is perfect as Terminator. He just is with his red eyes and his sunglasses, and he's completely out of this world for a young boy. Completely out of this world. Harley Davidson motorcycle. Which, keep in mind that I can't ride because I'm using a wheelchair. But by God, if I ever had the money, I'm gonna buy it just to buy the same kind of Harley Davidson motorcycle that Arnold Schwarzenegger had in the second Terminator movie, because that bike looks cool. I don't have to drive it. I just want to own it, so that it looks cool at my garage. But those are the things that made the late 80s, early 90s action movies perfect for me, because they were cool. They were absolutely cool. And I think that we won't get ever again that kind of poor action, that kind of one guy against the world, one machine against the world, one good guy against the bad guys, like one Terminator against the whole world, basically. I don't think we'll ever get that again, which is a shame, because these days we get superhero movies, which is cool. It's completely cool. I don't know. Yeah. Superhero movies are cool, but they don't compare um, to the action movies of the early 90s. Early 90s, late 80s. They just don't. And by the way, we won't ever again have that kind of culture which was created by stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, that those and Jean Claude Van Damme, those action hero actors. We won't ever have that again in my opinion, and that's a shame because they were. Let's take a third example. In Jean Claude Van Damme's case, he made the Universal Soldier movies that, in my mind, are second to none. A little bit under the Terminator movies, but still work like clockwork. And we haven't gotten anything close to those three guys. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger in many years, and as I said, in my opinion, we won't ever get that kind of people or actors again, and that's a shame because these days we get like ensemble casts of very good actors, but we don't have that kind of actors anymore that would be able to carry a movie or franchise of movies on his. And sorry, ladies, nothing against ladies, but still, um, we don't have anybody like that anymore that could carry a franchise of movies on his shoulders, all alone, but still make the movies work. We don't have that anymore. Somebody might say that Jason Statham is somebody like that. Okay, he's a very good actor, but he's no Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's no Sylvester Stallone. He's no Jean-Claude Van Damme. Not even close. But yeah, that's my rambling thoughts on this Arnold Schwarzenegger birthday, or almost Arnold Schwarzenegger birthday video. And by the way, if Arnold Schwarzenegger sees this video, ever happy birthday to you, sir. Love every movie that you did, minus Kindergarten Cup, which was shit. But all of your action movies are just perfection. So here's one fan that you have made my life so much better with your movies. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy birthday. To everybody else, have a great night or morning or day whenever you're watching this. Remember to subscribe, comment, dislike, like. That would help me so much. See you again soon. Bye bye.